Hello everyone and welcome to Motorcyclegear.com. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Swiftblade Jacket from REV'IT. Brand new for spring 2025 is the Swiftblade Jacket from REV'IT. This is going to be another jacket from their 95 Capsule collection. Keep in mind it's going to be a sport cut, warm and hot weather jacket as it is primarily mesh. Let's go ahead and take a look at the available colors. The first is going to be the black and blue, though keep in mind the mesh does look dark gray, and the second color is going to be black and red, but again, there is quite a bit of gray as well. In fact, compared to the blue version, this gray is even lighter. The Swiftblade Jacket from REV'IT comes in sizes from small to 3XL. Typically in REV'IT jackets, I wear an extra large. For reference, I'm roughly 6 foot, 215 pounds, and I do have an extra large on here. It does fit me as I would expect it to. However, I will say this, for a sport jacket, it feels cut a little bit more regular versus sport, as normally REV'IT sport jackets fit me a little bit tight. In this case, I do have a little bit of extra room, so again, it fits a little bit more like a regular cut versus a sport cut. With that said, the difference is not drastic enough to change sizes, so still I would recommend getting the size that you normally wear in REV'IT or other European brands. One other asterisk, even though it does feel a more regular cut, I will say that for the length, it's definitely a sport cut jacket as it is a little bit shorter than most other jackets that I've tried on. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the details right off the bat. You are going to notice that you do have some 95 collection graphics. This is going to be a series of vintage inspired logos on each side of the chest. Keep in mind on the side that has the singular logo, you are also going to get a stripe accent here. On this one, that's going to be blue. On the other colorway, that's going to be red. On the side that has all the logos, you're just going to get the black leather to kind of offset it. Definitely a cool graphic setup here. This one's going to be kind of gray. This one is kind of white. Not sure how well that shows on camera. They're both going to be kind of a printed on vinyl feeling material. This is a little bit more rubberized, but either way, really nice looking, a part of that 95 capsule collection. All right, so moving on from the graphics, we're going to go ahead and go to the collar. The collar is a simple one button tab here. Nice thing to note here is you do have buffalo leather on the outside, and then you do have a very nice soft and padded material on the inside. So the collar is quite comfortable, but it also holds its shape, so it does look good as well. Once you get below the button here, you do have the main zipper. A couple of things to note on the main zipper here. I love that REV'IT has a nice wide pull tab here. Makes it very easy to operate with gloves on and off. And then if we go ahead and zoom out, as you can see, the main zipper goes down the center. A couple of things to note on the zipper. It is kind of a nice and large zipper. It opens up very easily and very smoothly as the teeth are pretty large. One thing to see here is that there is not any sort of a cover, any sort of a flap to keep you from, having the zipper exposed. But keep in mind, you do get these nice kind of raised channels or kind of raised pipes, if you will, because the zipper actually sits underneath them, which is going to help you kind of protect that zipper from scratching up your fuel tank. In fact, as we get to the bottom, not only do you have those raised channels or raised pipes, but you do also have a little extra flap right here, again, for that most important part where the fuel tank touches. So nice touch there. Again, very nice size pull tab and very nice size zipper overall. Once again, this is primarily a hot or warm weather jacket, so a lot of mesh here. This is polyester mesh. Everything that's this kind of different gray color is all mesh here. So you've got it on the bottom part of the chest, all across the stomach on both sides, and then all the way on the inside of the arms on both sides as well. Once again, this is going to flow a ton of air, so it should definitely help keep you cool in those warmer riding conditions. And then as we make our way down here, you will notice two more zippers. These zippers are going to be the closures for hand warmer style pockets. Pretty nice quality zippers as well. And then from a size standpoint, I'll go ahead and slide my hands in. My hands are at the very bottom of the pocket right now, and they can slide all the way up. So a good amount of space. The pocket's about yay big, so definitely plenty of space for my hands to fit. For reference, I wear a size large glove, so again, pretty good size pocket. Let's go ahead and shift to the sides here. You will notice a bit of a material change. This is going to be soft shell 3L. You will notice that it runs all the way up the sides here. You will also find it around the waist as well. And speaking of the waist, you do get some adjustment here. There is one of these classic Velcro pull tabs. Very simple concept, long tab here. You've got kind of a pivot point. Go ahead and tighten or loosen as much as you need to, and really you can kind of customize the overall fit of the jacket. This is kind of a very simple but tried and true methods, so I definitely like seeing that. Plenty of adjustability here at the waist. Let's go ahead and jump over to the sleeves. We'll start off at the cuff here. You do get some more adjustment, another Velcro strap. Again, you can loosen or tighten it as you need to. Moving on from there, again, there's all that mesh on the inside. Speaking of that mesh, you do get a button tab adjustment at the biceps, so once again, you can go loose or tight depending on what you need. Jumping over to the outside of the elbow, we do have some reinforcements here. You'll notice this reinforced panel. This is going to be ripstop 600D, so a little bit of extra abrasion resistance right where your armor is. Definitely a nice touch. And then up from there, we do have a bit of reflective material. Nice size stripe. It is actually going to be visible from the front, side, and back as it kind of rotates around your arm. So definitely do like that touch there as well. Moving up from there, we do have the top of the bicep / shoulder area. This is all going to be buffalo leather, so nice and protective, good abrasion resistance there, and it does look good as well. Keep in mind all the features that I've covered so far, they are symmetrical from sleeve to sleeve, from left to right. The only part that isn't symmetrical is going to be this 3D raised REV'IT logo right here. This is actually going to be only on the left side or the left shoulder. And we have seen these in the past where they're kind of a plastic raised 3D logo, which I do like how it looks, but what's unique on this jacket is typically you have the raised logo on top of whatever material it happens to be on. In this case, you've got the buffalo leather, you've got this blue accent, or in the other jacket it's going to be a red accent, and then the logo on top. So this kind of outline, if you will, is not something that I've seen before, but I think it actually looks pretty good. It gives a little bit more of a pop to the logo itself and just kind of the jacket overall, so definitely a little bit of a different touch on this design. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the back. You will notice again a ton of mesh back here, pretty large panel, so again that theme of airflow is going to continue just fine. And then as you had on the front, you do have the mesh surrounded by that soft shell material, so you'll kind of see that all the way around. A couple of nice accents here at the very top. You do have another REV'IT logo. It is going to be once again kind of a vinyl material that's probably heat pressed on or something of that effect. You have another one here at the bottom. Again, similar feeling, similar material. It is a little bit raised off of that main fabric. And then you do get one more little touch here. It's going to be this leather stripe. It's going to be a synthetic leather, just a nice stripe right here to kind of break up the, the design overall. Now, before we do move on to the inside, I do have a couple of complaints here. I do believe it's a bit of a miss that there is no reflective here on the back of the jacket. I have mentioned this on some of the other 95 collection jackets as well. I do wish these logos were made out of a reflective material rather than just a white or a gray. I think it would pop more, and then obviously it would also give you that safety, additional safety as well. Now, if it is too difficult perhaps to make these logos out of reflective, I can understand that, but then why not do a large reflective stripe right here rather than just a basic leather, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm all about safety, but I do think it's a miss to not have any reflective back here on the back of the jacket. And then before we move on to the inside, one more thing to cover. At the bottom, you do get an extended back, so if you are in that tucked riding position, you do have a little bit of that extension here to give you that extra coverage. All right, last but not least, let's go ahead and dive into the inside. As you open up the jacket, you'll notice right off the bat, you are greeted with some very, very loud colors from the 90s. I do approve. I think it looks really good. It's fun, it's exciting, and it definitely ties in with that 90s theme. Since we are looking at this area here, you'll notice a little bit of stitching right here, this outline. This is going to be the pocket for the optional back protector. Keep in mind, it does not come with the jacket. It is something that you buy separately, but very easy to install. You do have a little Velcro right here. This opens up, and REV'IT even gives you a nice little note here to tell you exactly which level 2 back protector fits. So it makes it nice and easy and takes all the guesswork out of picking one out. And then speaking of armor, you do have some armor that is included. That is going to be your elbow and your shoulder. It is going to be CE level 1 C Smart. I will go ahead and show you the shoulder right now. Shoulder is very easy to get to. It's just right here in this little pocket. Go ahead and grab it, pull it out. And this is your typical level 1 armor from REV'IT. Very good stuff here. It is going to have a lot of airflow with all the perforation here. It does have a good amount of flex and stretch as well. Again, it is level 1. It is T+, T-. You do have that temperature plus, temperature minus rating. So again, nice and comfortable. Same stuff is going to be in the elbows as well. Now, one thing to note here that I find interesting, this is, in my opinion, a sport type jacket. Typically, REV'IT sport type jackets do include pockets for an optional chest protector. This jacket does not have that, so just kind of keep that in mind when thinking about the armor. And speaking of armor and protection, before I forget to mention, this jacket is also airbag compatible, so you do have that option as well if you are looking for that extra layer of safety. So feature-wise, not a whole lot going on in here, only a couple of things to note. One, you do only get one pocket. It is going to be right here. It is going to be a zipper style pocket. It's about the size of my hand. I do wear a size large glove for reference if I haven't mentioned that already. It is big enough to fit a iPhone 15 Pro Max, no problem, so definitely have that option as far as carrying your phone. Now, one thing to note on that, it is not waterproof, so just keep that in mind as you put electronics in that pocket. Moving down here, you do have a short connection zipper. This is going to work great for all REV'IT pants that do have a short connection zipper as well, or you can use it with REV'IT's Safeway belt accessory. And then another way to connect pants is you do have these jeans loop hooks. They're going to be on the side here, a little bit of stretch to them. Again, a really nice way to connect your jacket to your pants. And then overall, the interior is going to have this nice mesh liner. This is going to help keep you comfortable and cool. So again, nice touch on the inside. The Swiftblade jacket from REV'IT is going to be another great addition to REV'IT's 95 capsule collection, and in my opinion, it does a great job in both warm and hot weather riding while being comfortable and looking good. All right, so that's going to be it for the Swiftblade jacket from REV'IT. Be sure to visit Motorcyclegear.com. Hit us up in the comments down below via phone or email, as we are always here to help you with your moto gear needs. Thank you all for watching. Till next time.